Hello everybody, Hudson here and welcome back to another video where we're going to be taking a look at some very promising looking indie games set to come out in 2018. I'm including the games on this list obviously because I think they look amazing, but also because I'm probably going to cover them on the channel at some point. So let's jump in and take a look. Far Lone Sails is a vehicle adventure game where players will need to maintain and upgrade their locomotive style land vehicle as they traverse a dried out sea. I actually got to play Far Lone Sails recently at EGX Rezzed, and it was a magnificent game. The gameplay was solid and satisfying, the sense of exploration would push you forward and make you want to keep playing just that little bit longer. The world of Far Lone Sails is littered with the remains of what was once a vibrant seafaring civilization, but now the world is largely devoid of life. Whilst your overall goal remains a mystery, the short-term necessities for keeping your vessel working will drive you forward and ever closer to discovering the secrets left behind. Far Lone Sails is due for release on 17th of May 2018, and I highly recommend that you check it out. The Last Night is a cinematic platform game where you play as Charlie, living his life in the lower classes in the era of leisure. Machines have surpassed human labour not only in strength, but in precision, intellect and creativity. The fight for survival no longer means food and water, but a purpose for living. People now define themselves by what they consume, and not what they create. The Last Night has an undeniably gorgeous aesthetic that paints a brilliant picture of a post-cyberpunk future that takes inspiration from films like Blade Runner. Freely explore 4 districts, each with vibrant and varied styles, as The Last Night blends pixel art with state-of-the-art lighting and effects. Experience a rich narrative and real-time dialogue where you can walk away during conversations or simply draw a gun should you wish for an abrupt end. The Last Night is due to be released sometime in 2018. Previously known as No Truce with the Furries, Disco Elysium is a detective RPG best described as a mix between True Detective and Baldur's Gate. Solve a massive open-ended case in a unique urban fantasy setting, kick in doors, interrogate suspects, or just get lost exploring the gorgeously rendered city. Disco Elysium is another game that I recently got to play, and honestly I was blown away by the top quality voice acting and the strong story opener. Waking from the hangover from hell, you must piece together what the hell is going on as you try to solve a murder. Disco Elysium uses a very interesting mechanic where you can interact with different personalities from your brain. Some may offer you some helpful advice through things like skill checks, others may just want you to punch people in the face. My time with the game left me with a great impression, one that had me laughing out loudly to how some of the dialogue played out and left me wanting to explore and uncover all the secrets within the game. There's still no concrete release window for Disco Elysium, but it should be expected sometime in 2018. The Alien franchise, and more specifically Aliens, is one of my favourite films. It's where my online name comes from. So the idea of being able to jump in with 3 other players to a world that has some strong alien vibes going on really excites me. GTFO is billed as a hardcore 4-player cooperative FPS, where you'll be fighting off against hordes of ungodly beasts as you explore and try to extract valuable artifacts from a vast underground complex through narrow, claustrophobic corridors. The game is dripping in chilling, tense atmosphere, and quite frankly it looks pretty terrifying, but I'm sure with some friends by my side I won't be quite so scared. The narrative for GTFO encourages discovery and exploration. The more you play a character, the more you'll learn about them, like how they ended up as scavengers trying to survive this grisly and disturbing underworld known as the Complex. As with most of the games on this list, we still don't have a release date, but I'm really hoping that it hits 2018 at some point. Whilst Below is definitely an indie game, to me it feels like a big game, and I'm sure a lot of people will know it well as it's appeared at a number of Xbox E3 press shows over the last few years. Everything went silent with the game last year, but it's now back and it has a penciled in release date of sometime this year. In Below, you control a tiny adventurer as you arrive on a mysterious island that you're free to explore. Delve into the dark caves of the island to find secrets, treasure, and monsters to fight. I've played Below for about 30 minutes and it felt like a really interesting adventure game, with a grand sense of scale emphasised in the art style and the gameplay, with the camera being raised up high and drawn away from the character. As you play and explore, you'll need to keep a track on things like hunger and thirst, but they're not overly intrusive. The main focus is still on exploration and heading further below into the caves. If you die whilst playing, you will start again as a new adventurer on the same island, able to find your fallen self to recover the items and anything you left behind. I'm a big fan of this permadeath kind of game feature, and I'm really interested to see how far you can delve into the game, and quite frankly, everything I played of it so far was pretty stunning. The visuals were amazing, the atmosphere felt fantastic, and I just can't wait to get my hands on properly with it.